Alright, what's good y'all? Soul here and welcome back to my story mode. So at the time of this recording, it's about a couple of days before the official release, or at the very least the early release, of Sonic X Shadow Generations. So if you're sitting there right now watching this video, it's for two reasons. It's because one, this showed up on your homepage and you're feeling the same way I am. You're super hyped for this release, you can't wait, and you're just kind of waiting, just sitting there racking your brain thinking about all of the things that led up to this point. Or B, I'm in your sub box because there's a very good chance that you found me because of one of my videos regarding Sonic X Shadow Generations. I literally will die with this franchise. This is not a game and Shadow is my GOAT, okay? Please do not ever get that twisted. So with the release around the corner, I just wanted to sit down and just reminisce a little bit about all of the things leading up to this point when it comes to Sonic X Shadow Generations. Now this month in particular has been very busy for a little gamer like me, okay? At the beginning of the month, we had both Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and Metaphor ReFantazio release on literally the same day, which was absolutely absurd for me. We have Shadow Gens coming up this week, and then on top of that, I guess it's not necessarily within the same month or anything like that, but we do have Mario and Luigi Brothership coming out not too long after this point either. So yeah, for this last month, I've had literally nothing but games on the brain, so I've been kind of active with that, which kind of shows given the fact that I'm not really uploading on this channel as much as I probably should be. Sorry about that, however, there's a good reason for that I'm going to talk about at the end. Now, getting back on topic here, Shadow Generations is so incredibly close and it is absurd to be this excited for a remaster. I have never ever been this excited for a remaster of a game. It is genuinely absurd how excited I am to hop back into Sonic Generations of all things. Here's the thing, by no means is Sonic Generations my favorite Sonic game. Absolutely not. I think it's a good game. I thought it was very good, very well put together and everything like that. It was a very solid game. However, the story was dog water. The story was practically non-existent. And if you know anything about me, somebody that plays an excessive amount of RPGs, long RPGs mind you, you know that story is something that is very critical to me, right? And the gameplay for Sonic Generations is elite. That is the one thing that it holds over a lot of other Sonic games, is that it has a lot of genuine polish and a lot of great gameplay, especially going between the unique gimmick of 2D Sonic and 3D Sonic. That was an awesome choice and a great way to celebrate his anniversary. Could not have done it better myself. I really couldn't. But that's the thing, with this remaster, not only are we getting an entirely new segment of gameplay with Shadow the Hedgehog having his own story involved, but we are getting a remastered version of the original with some touch-ups. I've heard rumors here and there. I'm trying to avoid it now more than ever because spoilers are floating around, so if you see this before the game comes out, just be aware that there are spoilers floating around right now. Be careful. It is just out in the wild. I almost saw something and I was pissed. Right, anyway, getting back on topic. We are getting some touch-ups for the base version of Sonic Generations, but we still have no idea what that means. We've seen a little bit of gameplay here and there of people playing it at stray like events and cons and things like that, and we would see them playing like Green Hill Zone or something along those lines. And it looked good, it looked fine, it looked generally polished like it always does, but the way that they're kind of hiding base gens, it could only be for two reasons. One, because we already know Sonic Generations through and through. We have been playing this game and modding this game for well over a decade, so they probably figured, hey, there's not really a point to trying to advertise base generations, so let's just push the Shadow side and we'll just make sure to throw in, hey, the original side is very polished too, so hopefully you enjoy that. That's reason number one. Number two is because they are actually hiding something that is critically important. The thing about Shadow Generations is that it takes place at the same point in time as base Generations. Shadow is doing his thing, Sonic is doing his thing, and at some point they are going to collide in the middle. We already know that because Sonic literally has a boss battle with Shadow to get one of the Chaos Emeralds. So one way or another, these stories are going to collide, but the only way for them to do that is to do a little bit of cleanup on the Generation side, because on the Gen side, in OG, Shadow is just standing there waiting to fight. There's no way that could happen naturally. Like, that's just weird. That can't happen that same way with Shadow Gens happening at the same time. It has to be at some point Shadow is just flung into wherever Sonic is. They meet up in the middle, and they're both like, hey, I need that Chaos Emerald. And Shadow and Sonic are both like, nah, I'm getting it first. I don't care if we gotta fight again. And they end up throwing hands. That is the only explanation I have as to why these stories would intersect like that. And it's truly, truly exciting to see what they pull. Ian? Oh, you monster. You're only getting better, and it's getting scary, man. We're on to you. Hopefully you did something phenomenal with Sonic Gen's base, because I love that game, and it could definitely use some touch-ups in the writing department, especially near the later half. It really needs that touch-up. So, if you could fix that up, that would make Sonic Gens a perfect game, on top of being, I don't want to call it a crossover. It's not a crossover, it's part of the same situation, but either way, regardless, you get what I'm getting at. Having Shadow Gens on top of base generations, both of them being polished and fun to play and pretty to look at, would be a beautiful, beautiful start to a new era for Sonic. On top of all of that, of course, we just have to acknowledge the fact that The Dark Beginnings was a beautifully written story to put Shadow into this situation. The way that they handled Shadow, the way Ian handled Shadow's character throughout this, beautiful. The way the animation was handled, outstanding. The way everybody else's characters were handled, the anime, just everything put together into that little 11-minute package is insane. It is absolutely wild what people can do when they actually have love and passion for what they're working on, and they have the time and the budget to do so. This project that happened more than ever proves that they care so much about Sonic, more so than ever. Sonic Team, Sega, they finally are locking in. They said, this is our damn mascot, and we're gonna treat him and his characters with some freaking respect. It's about time, and we finally got that respect with Shadow's story and The Dark Beginnings. That lead up is beautiful. It is a beautiful entrance to anybody that doesn't really truly know Shadow's story. It leaves a little bit of hints and things like that everywhere, and it's just a well-written way to get into Shadow's story. It's full of mystery and intrigue, and it just really wants to get you to know Shadow a little bit, and that's an awesome way to lead into Shadow Gens. It makes me just over the moon excited type beat. Okay, so they really did a great job with that. And it's not like this is the first time that they've done something like this, but I think that The Dark Beginnings is easily the best animated anything that we have ever had for a Sonic anything, really. And that's including, like, throughout Sonic X, throughout Sonic, obviously Sonic Prime. We're not even going to talk about that. I do think that it is triumphant to the Divergence prologue that we got. It is definitely superior to the Sonic Colors remaster that we got. It's just so perfect. It is perfect in every way. It hits the right emotions, and it tells the proper story in the proper way. And it does everything so genuinely. It's so nice. It's so nice to have something like this to prove, hey, don't ignore what Sonic's got cooking over here, because you absolutely will regret it. And The Dark Beginnings in of itself is the best prologue, like, I've ever seen. By and far. That is not an exaggeration by any means. And the craziest part about all of this entire year of Shadow the Hedgehog situation, this whole promotion that they have for Shadow is leading up. It's primarily, it is tied in with the movie, which is fine, that's awesome, but it is also leading into Shadow Gens. These two things are the primary, I don't know why I bent my hand that way. These two things are the primary lead up that we've been trying to get into all year. This is what they've been hyping us up for. And it's insane that as far as Shadow Gens is concerned, all this hype for like 4 to 5 hours of content is bananas, bro. They said that it's going to be at least the general same length of Sonic Generations, which, if you're taking your time and you're playing base Generations for the first time and watching all the cutscenes and doing all the little challenges that are around the area, you'll be in there for a good, like, 5, 6, possibly 7 hours, give or take. But the thing with Shadow is that he doesn't have a classic Sonic side to double up on acts. So it's just Shadow. which is interesting because they did say that it's about the same length, maybe a tad shorter, which is totally fine. I get that. It's not like I was expecting a full, just complete package. I get what they were doing here, but it is still really interesting that we're gonna be through this by the next day, a lot of us. I definitely am going to be sitting down very heavily with this game the entire time. I might beat it in one sitting. We'll see what happens with that. But regardless of everything, Sonic X Shadow Generations is easily one of my most anticipated games this year. Will it triumph over Metaphor and Sparking and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? We'll see. We'll see. It really, the story's definitely going to carry heavy, but the gameplay also looks so incredibly good and polished that there's a good chance that it just might be my favorite thing this year. But again, we'll play it by ear. It's going to be very hard to... We've had a lot of bangers this year, bro. We have had back-to-back bangers, and just Sonic Gens being like one of the cap-offs for this year, for 2024, that's all I could ask for. It's so great. It's so great to be a Sonic fan right now, and I hope that everybody that's watching this that is a Sonic fan is ready for when that game drops. I'm assuming the early access, if it works the same way Dragon Ball did, we're going to get it on Monday night. So anybody that's going to be playing that Monday night, I'm going to be in the same boat, brother. I'm going to be in the same boat. And anybody that's getting into the Sonic franchise through Sonic X Shadow Generations, welcome. You will 100% enjoy those games if you enjoy platformers, and if you enjoy story, you're definitely going to fall in love with Shadow's story. It is just getting more beautiful by the minute, and maybe we'll see about the Sonic Gen side. I really don't know what's going on that side, but regardless, this is a phenomenal place to start the Sonic franchise. And then right after this, you're going to want more. Guess what? Sonic Frontiers is probably on sale. I know for a fact they're probably going to put Frontiers on sale because people are going to be like, oh my god, I need more Sonic. I need just more of this franchise right now. And everybody, I know for a fact, if anybody asks me like, hey, Shadow Gens was awesome, where do I go next? Hey, Sonic Frontiers, lock in with that a little bit. I promise you, it'll definitely give you a solid experience. Probably not as polished as Shadow Gens, but definitely it's got a lot going for it. It's got a lot going on, and it's got a phenomenal story. So it's definitely going to be a great time to be a Sonic fan by the end of this week. 100%. But with that, I have yammered on long enough. I wanted to make sure to get this video out specifically on Monday morning before the game officially drops, so that I could just have this one last little chit chat about the game to solidify my thoughts before we finally have our hands on it. Now, I do have one final major thing to say. I think I'm going to cut this out of the video that I made prior where I said this, so I'm going to say it here because it makes the most sense. I have a new channel called Soul Battle Mode. Okay, I have recognized that on this channel, you guys like to hear me have discussions. You guys want to have discussions with me, and that's totally fine. That's what I love to do. I love this channel. I love being able to do this right here with you guys. This particular situation right here, couldn't do that anywhere else. This right here is what I like to do on this channel, which is why I don't want to overcrowd this channel with like Let's Plays and gameplays and just raw live commentary stuff when we could have that somewhere else. Okay, that's why I couldn't do this stuff on my main channel. Main channel is all Pokemon discussions and things like that. So on Soul Battle Mode, we're going to be doing live commentary Let's Plays. We're going to do live commentary battles specifically for Sparking Zero. We're going to do it for the Bleach game that comes out sometime next year, and then at the end of this month we have Rivals of Aether 2, and I'm definitely going to have my hands on that. I'm pretty sure that comes out on the 23rd. We'll see what happens. But regardless, we're going to be doing a lot more live stuff on there. And depending on how things go, depending on the sub count, I'll probably be down to do some more live streams as well. I'll definitely put a little thing here on this channel as well as my main channel. But I'm probably going to do most of a blind Let's Play of Sonic X Shadow Generations, because I want to have my reactions to that, and I want to just have as much fun as possible with that. So I'm definitely gonna have a lot of Shadow Gens content up there. So, you know, if y'all are interested in seeing my first time reactions to that game, lock in over there. I'll put the link in the description, and y'all can see me suck at Sonic, man. Regardless of all that though, I'm passing the mic over to you guys, and I want you guys to tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Are you guys excited for Sonic X Shadow Generations? Do you think that Shadow the Dark Beginning set up the prologue for Shadow Gens perfectly, and it made you even more excited? Do you think that this game looks good and polished, and it's probably going to be one of the best Sonic games that we've ever had? Or are you on the opposing side? Do you think that all of this build-up, all of this hype is absolute for nothing? This game is going to fall short of expectations, and we're going to be sorely disappointed by the end of it. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I am always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I would like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone. So thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor, taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.